Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wake Up. We are streaming live today on the Wake Up, but we are launching this out into Facebook land on multiple platforms so we can spread the goodness and the positive news. I am here with my divine soul brother, Jeremy Doemel, fellow psychic and life coach, and so much more, so much more. I could go on and on about Jeremy. We are here in divine timing to discuss divine timing on this divine day of the 555 energy. We're going to get to how that's connected, as me and Jeremy are really great at making connections through body, mind, and spirit. And we have got a little side story on how that is so divine for Jeremy, and will let us hear. But first, we're going to kick off this video with a prayer and setting our intentions. So Jeremy and I have lit our sage, and we are here to plant some seeds. But first, I ask that if you are watching this live or in the replay, that you close your eyes or become mindful. And I am going to ask, dear Lord God, Creator, Source, Gaia, to allow protection to flow divinely through Jeremy and I today as we create this live with the intentions of planting seeds and enlightenment and wisdom around divine timing and what that means for our individual journeys. I ask and call in all the beautiful archangels and ascended masters to surround all the beautiful souls that are watching this, and allow Reiki universal energy to flow through you. And to all the beautiful souls that do not align with this video in divine timing and that still need our healing prayers and to be cured from impurities of the body, mind, and spirit, and allow today's energy of 555 to expand growth, transformation, and beautiful love and light into every single one of you. Today and every day moving forward from here on out. I ask that these archangels provide more clarity and wisdom to everybody to see and hear the signs, symbols, and messages that they need to within their journey to make the choices to ascend and rise up like the strong phoenixes that we are. Amen.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
No more be.
Oh, brother. Divine timing.
Divine timing. We always talk about this for you guys. Me and Ashlee, I'm just so grateful for our alignment as we're going to talk about that as we unpack this beautiful topic. I just want to say thank you to my guides and your guides and all the guides for bringing us all into alignment at this divine moment. No matter when this is timeless, as we do not truly live on linear timelines. And we are so grateful for Source and Spirit and for all the higher realms. And what a beautiful day.
Yes.
Yeah, no coincidence. I was born at 5:55 p.m. I must say that.
That's what I wanted the people to know. And when we came into alignment and connection with each other, we have always flowed within divine timing in our own journeys, but then equally with each other. And you shared that with me, and it all flowed. So that's how we know that divine timing is like working. It's like proof, because everything just flowed so easily with not many challenges to be here in this divine moment. So yes, my brother, the 555 master, and he is doing the work in his own journey, transforming and growing. I want to start off, as you mentioned, this time, right? Time is an illusion. Time is an illusion, and just like everything else, and it's eternal. But the most important part of journey is divine timing. And a lot of people struggle with understanding the concept or understanding what that takes. Jeremy, why don't we start off with you? What is divine timing summarized to you?
I feel like we need to chess set timer so that because I could really.
I know. Both you and I, when it's a conviction topic, no worries. We're in divine timing. So we're going to let it flow.
So I'll start by saying this. Thank you so much for having me on this beautiful podcast and all the work you do for others, first and foremost. And then, and so guys, I look at it like this. I feel like this will help anybody in whatever recovery journey you're on, and journey, spiritual journey. And, today is right now. I must say it's very important to realize that today the veil is thinned. So it's a beautiful time if you're receiving this to connect with your guides every day upon awakening before you go to bed, ask for that spiritual protection and guidance, and help you transmute the lower vibration frequency encoding, galactic DNA. Yes, there's all sorts of stuff, but let's stay on topic. So, but ask for that spiritual assistance to transmute any lower vibration frequency from your etheric body. In shamanic practice, we talk about the four spirits. Which way are we? We're all born into the upside down, guys. So there are the four spirits. This is so confusing. And there's the etheric body, our mental body, our emotional, which way is it? Whatever body, and our physical body, all four spirits. So we can ask spirit to help transmute all that and raise and bring into crystalline source, the Christ consciousness. And don't be worried about where so many people are in recovery from religion, if you will. Not that religion is bad, but there is a lot of control-based energy and everything. That Christ consciousness, Jesus Christ was, in my view, one of the seven ascended masters of the seven rays. He's the God and the deity of essentially forgiveness. So I have the utmost respect for religion, and so I just wanted to make that clear. So as I talk about these concepts and as we get into this, and I'm looking forward to get into it, I say as a man, I identify really quickly. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I identify as a man in recovery. I'm a recovery coach, a life coach, a psychic coach, empathic healer, many things. I identify as shaman. Labels have limits. Not really a big fan of label. But for the sake of conversation, I will say I'm simply Jeremy, but I am very much a spiritual octopus. And so part of this, to explain this, is that there's much to it. So in recovery, this is why I'm going to connect the tissue. The only thing simple about recovery is not picking up, not taking that drink or the drug, right? So yet I say, it's as simple if I were to say, let's create a form of transportation right now. How would one do that? Well, I think of maybe a wheel, a frame, and a seat. Well, how about a unicycle? Brilliant. Great. Well, very simple, not simple. There's much to unpack. You have inertia, you have balance, you have all these things, these moving parts, guys. You are the pilot, and there is a yoke, and there are pedals, and there is turbulence, and you're trying to fly right. So there's so much to it. So in order for us to truly grasp it and learn it, and then I want to drop this in because I love learning modalities and teaching methods, and for us to really come to a place where we can, essentially, it's called gradual release of responsibility, and it was by Pearson and Gallagher, I believe, based on some Russian guy, doesn't matter. And it's about, once we understand all the moving parts, then all we need is in our intention, and we'll never be harmed by it again. We can get out of our own way. So there's much to unpack when it comes to divine timing, because so many people can simply say, and I'm going to pass this over because I could talk too long. So it's divine timing, and we discount it. We don't realize that there's so much more. So to really help you guys to attract law of attraction and to come into the beautiful alignments that are meant to, we'll unpack this in an easier way. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm curious to pass the baton back to you, and go ahead, dear sister. We'll start there.
So I want to bring it back. I love either breaking down my ideologies in forms of like metaphors or analogies or examples. And so I talk best about my own personal experiences and in referencing myself so that there is learning from me. I remember way back when, within, although always being awakened and a free thinker, I remember a point in journey very young where I did not always believe in divine timing and did not always practice divine timing. Ego still had some lessons to learn on control, which I find divine timing can sometimes boil down to needing to release that control and fear and worry and doubt, that journey, right? And so a big part of divine timing and really grasping the concept for me was the surrendering process and trusting in journey and knowing that journey will not bring Ashlee anywheres that she cannot handle and what's not best for her at that time, and that I can get through anything. And so a big part of that was surrendering to the actual process and trusting and integrating small steps first, especially for someone who enjoyed and loved to control as much as possible within my own control and what was out of my control. And so I needed to do that. And when I started to integrate small steps and just trusting in the process and going with the flow, I saw how it opened up doors of allowing things to happen when they are meant to. The more we as humans fixate on the when or the how, we will end up creating even more blocks and challenges in our journey, because we are the co-creators. As much as we manifest in law of attraction and it's our journey, we are essentially the co-creator. And so with that said, we have to trust in that whoever it is you believe. You heard me during prayer mention God, Lord, Creator, Source, Gaia. It's all interchangeable in my beliefs. And whatever you too believe in, you need to trust that ideology, identity, person, whatever it is, object that you believe in, or interchangeably, will give you what you need when you need it, and it will all come as it is supposed to. Brother, thoughts, comments?
Oh yeah, many thoughts. First and foremost, I feel, because so many people, one thing that can really stifle our growth is when we compare ourselves to others, right? So I want to say to everybody that you have unlimited power in you, and we all come from the same source. And so when we talk about guides, many people are like, I have a real hard time with what we were calling recovery HP, or a higher power. And really, it's like, I always tell brothers and sisters, look, we don't need to know who our guides are. We just simply need to know we're being guided. Okay. And that's beautiful. So, Mother Universe, Cosmos, whatever, however it looks to you, I mean, control, fear. Right. Okay. So as we unpack this, I'm really grateful for this. And I know I'll say divine timing, I will get better at this, right? Because as we're learning, right, that everything is happening for us, not to us. That's very important. To realize that everything is your life right now for one specific reason, for the possibility of optimal soul growth, brothers and sisters. This is so true. So, and as I've learned, I can really, to understand it, because there's so much to it and we can get overwhelmed. So we want to keep it very kind of simplify this and really bring everybody into this understanding slowly. So right now I'll say this: the only time that matters is right now, because it's the only situation that we have control of, right? So before we start talking about manifestation and being prepared, shadow work, being ready for new energy and integration, a lot to talk about. Again, let's just look and just take a breath right now and be like, guys, brothers and sisters, yeah, breathe. And because if you're getting tight in the shoulders right now, if you're like, holy poopy poo-poo pants, I am late for an appointment, I got to get out of here, I'm freaking out. You are tight in the shoulders. You are burning precious energy, guys, that you only have so much of every day. Okay? Realize that. To be mindful of this. And everything is happening for you, not to you, guys, right? that the universe is always working with you. So look, if you show up late, let me give you an example. If I stress out right now, I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's life happens, life on life's terms. I can't get there. I have this other something happen, whatever it is. I'm going to be late for this very important engagement or meeting. Now you go, you stress out, you get tight in the shoulders, you're burning your own energy, you're creating anxiety, and you're lowering your frequency. We're recalibrating our energy at every thought, everything we do, everything we speak, guys. So why bring yourself down? Because by the time you get there, now if you're already in an energetically bad state of mind, a lower vibration, you're not really going to serve your soul or all souls highest good getting there if you're tight in the shoulders, if you're deal making, if you're playing the victim mentality, all these things. And yet, let me say this, that if the universe says, your boss says, you're late, I'm done, you're fired, the fact that you can accept that and know that this is so true, guys, that the universe, no matter what happens to you, the universe is loving you and doing it for your highest good. That there's another door that will open, I promise you. Do not get discouraged. This is divine timing in the moment, brothers and sisters, where we just simply relax, be mindful of our energy, and don't look. We're humans. You're not the first person to have X, 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 and X happen to, right? And even if you were, so be it. Look, everything is happening for us, not to us. And yet that control that you spoke of and that fear that you spoke of, and that energetically we're lowering our frequency and vibration and making us less capable of handling the situation, getting to that moment. So stop future tripping, guys. All right, go ahead. I'll pass.
Yeah, I mean, you said you sparked just so many more, and we piggyback off each other so beautifully. I love it. Being in the present moment and to just be, that is divine timing. The focusing on what tomorrow may bring, we may not, I used to say this all the time, Jared, back way before I met you. I'd be like, I may not be here in 4 months. Why am I going to stress, right? Imbalance creates taking stress out of the equation, but actively living in the moment and being in the present moment to feel, to pause and reflect is so important to journey. I wanted to touch on the fact that also we can't have all the information, knowings, answers all at once. And we divinely create openings to find out that information. We will get there when we touch on shadow work and the steps that we need to take to integrate and how we create divine timing to flow more into journey. But that we can't have it all. Our brains would implode. Journey would be really hella boring if we had all the answers or knew certain things. And there are just certain things part of our journey, experiences, challenges, learning moments that are meant to be a part of our journey. And I love that you brought up the example of being like late to work, for example. I know so many people, including myself, in my own divine part of my journey where I used to not try to be late. And then when the rewiring, the flipping of the switch and the mindset came about this, I had to realize that in those moments, what if universe is creating that for a reason divinely, and how that it may be saving me, it may be helping me or blessing me. And I truly, I think, and I love also the example of getting fired, you know, if you just have to trust and know that every experience is happening for you, not to you, and that it is happening how it is supposed to happen. And if it's not exactly how it's supposed to happen, you're going to learn from it and be able to grow from it and change it, you know? And so I also want to add lastly that within divine timing, I did have to make note of this at one point, that I love being in the present moment and I love flowing, but I use the example now that I've created in my own life that we have to be like two trees, grounded, and create our flow in between, because too much flow without borders and boundaries can open doors to other things, but that divine timing is more like creating that flow energetically between your two grounded trees.
Love it. You know, guys, beautiful, Ashlee, beautiful. Um, okay, okay, I should have been taking more notes. I did take a couple notes. Yes, guys, I always say make mistakes, beautiful gifts to learn from, right? Speak without thinking, for it's the quickest way to learn. Like, ouch. Um, there's so many great things. So right now, when you spoke before, to back up a little bit, I remind me of something I wrote the other day. I wrote, right now, ask yourself, does it really truly matter? And will time not show me in the end I was wrong to worry? I mean, come on, guys. If you guys wrote down what everything you're worried about right now, and you put that in an envelope, seriously, and open it for a month from now, would it be something? Chances are, it is so irrelevant and unconsequential to where you're at right now. And yet, we get so caught up and get extended into this future. We get so wrapped up, guys, in human time and not soul time. There's a big difference. Look, there's no right or wrong. There are no flaws in life. Truly realize this. Those are only perceptions based on opinions, guys. Okay. There are simply only lessons to be learned. This is not a battlefield of angels and demons so much as it is simply a classroom. Okay. I want to also say, so right now, in shamanic practice, we talked about which way are we? We're over here now. We talk about the four spirit. So in quantum healing, I heard you just had beautiful brother Matchman and on for a podcast, which is beautiful. In quantum healing, we talk about, guys, the right side of our body is right now, and the left side is our past lives. Okay, and so right now, currently, this speaks to me of divine timing and where I'm at. So I have all these. I have other things that I want to work, that I want to manifest. And right now, my upper right side, this might be reversed. So, but this is the right side, not my left on camera, but it's my right side of my body. The upper back on my right side, my right now, this life cycle is a bit agitated. And why? So I'm listening to my body. Well, and not that I don't love doing this, and I absolutely will. I do it and do it anytime. But I've been bending over backwards for other people too much. And that I need, in order to make movement and for divine timing to really, in this attraction for things that I'm working on manifesting, but I'm not getting anything done. And part of it is going to take energy, and it's another format. It's not about sharing with the collective or making videos. I'm just speaking truth, right? We know. And yet, so I want to write. I'm yet a writer. I am a writer, but I'm not a published writer. And in order to become a published writer, writers write, right? So I need to write, right. And so that's why my back is telling me, my body is, actually, you always say your body's your GPS. It always tell you where to go. I always say my body's my barometer. I listen to it. So I'm listening to my body right now, and I realize that energetically, divine timing, it's like, okay, I will continue to feel uncomfortable because now I'm listening to the perception in the dimension of my physical. Guys, it's another way to perceive stuff. We are always so logical, and we get so caught up. Many brothers and sisters out there are not seeing the forest for the trees. They're in survival mode because they're worried and thinking that all this shit matters. If you don't, I don't mind. Nobody minds. Look, it's already done, right? It's a word. But here's the thing. We get caught up. We're born into the upside down, feeling that all the stuff, that having a job, being successful, that what you are is who you are. That's not who you are. You're an eternal being of light. We're here to learn lessons. Are you learning them? So, guys, in recovery, once I took back the power, forgave myself for all the bullshit lies I told myself that I would never be anything because I had all this crap, these lies I told myself. Took back the power of trauma, put it into self-love. Now I view myself as being significant. No matter where I go, who I'm with, what I have, what job I have, what clothes I wear, it becomes significant. So that we transcend on spiritual journey all of this lower vibration of thinking of the negative aspect of our ego. Yes. And to let go of all this. And then when we do that, guys, everything becomes a blessing. And it's a frequency, and we must talk about law of attraction. So let's make this a caveat and move into.
Yeah, let's transition.
Let me give you a quick example, and then we'll. So All right. So if Ashlee was offering me spiritual guidance right now, and I was in the 3D, I would want to buy you a coffee or dinner or something, because to me, the frequency of money is of gratitude for your service and your time and your energy. Okay. It's not because you want it because you helped me and this is what I charge. No. So therefore, if you're looking to pay the public service bill, you're freaking out, you're tight in the shoulders, you're like, oh God, oh Jesus, oh Lord, heaven, please send me money because they're gonna kick me out. I'm freaking out. You know, that's there, that is different. That's not pure intent. Pure intention is for the highest good of all souls. Regular intention is saying, I need help, so I'm going to go ask people for help. Now, the universe won't work with you as well and help aid in this divine timing when you go at everything with just simple intention. Pure intention is for the highest good of all souls. Big difference. Because
Yes.
pure intention and spirit guides and the universe helping and assisting will help put you in alignment, help you smell out the ones that are not really truly meant to help you and keep you on track and get you that assistance you need. So that will stop the delay and also help attract what it is. Because here's the thing, when you want to pay your public service bill, you say, Spirit, help me bring me financial assistance and the frequency of finance and money so that I may pay my public service bill, so that I may have heat in my home for my family, not worry about this lower vibration, 3D stuff, human existence stuff, that I can continue on journey and that I may work to become the highest, best possible version of my own self, and then therefore be able to pay that forward for other beautiful souls and help them. So Spirit, now that's a totally different frequency. That's law of attraction, guys.
Right.
One way or the other, it may never show up because the universe will always bring you what you need, not what you want. It may come in a new situation. Maybe you get kicked out. Maybe somebody says, I got a room for you and your kid, and we have a beautiful, and it's so much better, guys. But yet we freak out all the time because we think that, oh no, because we're losing one thing, control. And that stems in fear. Ashlee, thoughts?
Exactly. Oh my God. It's like, how do I add on to that when you said it all? But I do want to go on about the intentions and the pure intentions and getting clear on those intentions, because as many people who may be struggling with the concept, I first want to acknowledge that it kind of takes jumping off society's hamster wheel of life that kind of subconsciously programs you for being on this futuristic worry trend, and being able to jump off that wheel and create your own path and balance, which is a part of the divine timing. But that universe, for example, just like we have algorithms and devices that are always listening to what we are saying or what we're typing in, and then all of a sudden we see it in our search feeds, universe is one subconscious big ear of a sponge, and it hears everything, even when we don't speak it out loud. And so it watches our actions as human beings. You know, it says this person wants, I'm going to use the financial assistance example and carry on with that. This person wants the money, but I'm watching them and they are sitting on their couch every day. They're not actually taking action. They're acting as if it's just going to fall in their lap. They're watching to see if your mindset aligns with the thoughts, words, and actions. And then it comes in a form of like a universal blessing. I also want to touch on the fact that, yes, it doesn't always look how we may expect. So, for example, I used to say I wanted a new car. I wanted a new car. Well, I got my new car, but it came in the form of having a head-on collision, okay? Mm-hmm. And so is that how I wanted a new car? No, I am now very cautious and conscious about how I ask for certain things because I get what I want, but it sometimes is not how I would imagine. And just know that, you know, if you have your mind set on it looking a certain way, you may become disappointed because that is it's not always going to look how you have it envisioned in your mind. You have to expand the awareness and open that box and let it be a little bit broader, and just allow the universe to divinely guide you as it is happening, how it is supposed to. And any challenge that's presented into your life, and it's not exactly how you thought it was going to be, you are going to be able to get through it. Journey is not going to let you down.
Beautiful. I would love to share another story, because just as me and Ashlee are offering real life experience of how this works, guys. Karma. We must talk about karma, right? Okay, that's the energy you were speaking of, karma. 3 out, 3 in. What we think, what we speak, what we do enters the karmic stream, guys, and it returns upon us in the form of, which way we going here, blessings and burdens. And it's energy. So if you keep saying, all right, I'm not going to pay my public service bill, oh, to hell with it, I'd rather just go get high. Well, what are you telling the universe? That you want to get high? So the dope man might show up at your house, and temptation might be staring you down. For real. Let me give you another example. I really was going through I don't make a lot of money, guys. I'm on disability and I have a lot of things, and it's like, and I needed money. I wanted a set of truck tires, and yet I wanted to go do some things, and I only needed like maybe $1,000 or something, $1,000, and I was like, universe, I really need the money. I need tires. I need, and I remember praying to Archangel Raziel, asking them for assistance with this. Well, you know what happened, guys? It was about this time last year. We got a hell of a storm. Where in this situation, I was stressed out about so many things. I got a basement full of crap that I need to get cleaned out from my parents' house. I live with my parents. Truth. Okay. No. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. And the truth of it is, so it's like this. So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, oh my goodness, I take care of my dad's needs. He's got late stage Alzheimer's. I got all this stuff. How do I get down there, clean this up, do all this stuff, make money? How do I get money? All these things. I simply asked. And here's the beautiful thing. Spirit, they brought me literally a flood like Noah. The basement flooded. The power went out. I said, Mom, call the insurance company. They called. 10 grand, boom, here's 4 grand for you, Jeremy. Get a cleaning crew in here, help with the basement cleanup. Everything's done. Beautiful bonus with the basement. Yeah.
I remember that.
And it was amazing, you guys. So Spirit helped me in so many ways. What a beautiful blessing. And at no point that I was saying, oh, screw it, I'd be better off getting high again or going back. At no point did I say that. At no point did I stop believing in the beautiful miracle or the dance of the cosmos from unfolding in my favor. Because by thinking it, you're asking for it. Be mindful of this.
Yes. Always be mindful and be intentional. It's 2 things Jeremy and I really value ourselves on, and what we really promote and teach and put out into the collective. So how do you open up divine timing to flow even more abundantly into your life? And I think Jeremy is going to agree with me. Freaking dive into the shadow work, my friend.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, shadow. It's all shadow work.
It is. It's I like to tell people, without the dark, without the challenges, our lives would just be golden and peachy all the time, and that would be boring too. And that's not what Journey is meant for. We are truly here to grow, transform, learn, evolve, change, all interchangeably. Okay. And so a part of that is, and this, we are aware, Jeremy and I, that this is not the plan for everybody, and that is a-okay. But for those of us who do choose to do the work, shadow work is diving into your darkest, deepest layers of the subconscious programming, the childhood wounds, the karmic generational trauma and karma that there are. We all have it in some shape, way, or form. Nobody can say, it's just like addictions. No one can say, I'm not addicted to something. It's, what are you addicted to? And this is that same concept. We all have subconscious programming. We all have some form of childhood wound or trauma that stems something in our lives and is impacting us. And we all have generational trauma and karma. And good news, we are going to, after this, get into the 555 energy and how a lot of karmic energy and cycles are coming to an end. And we have learned some huge soul lessons. And we are in divine point of our journey, just creating more divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
But shadow work is diving in and really exploring inner you, the dark side. These are the duality of, and I want to explain the dark side, the shadows, ego, devil energy are all one side of that scale. And then the shadow work leads to the light, the love, the authentic, the Christ-like consciousness. That's the duality of that. And without those dark, deep experiences and challenges that a lot of them were destined in part of our soul contracts when we agreed to come here to Earth. Believe it or not, we asked for these challenges that we have in our life. And so we have to explore, what was this meant to teach me? What was this meant to help me learn? What is this stemming from? What suppressed emotions is this coming from? All of that, Jer. What else would you elaborate and say and mention on the shadow work side?
Okay, so there's two things that I always talk. So I'm glad I love that we're explaining what shadow work is. So many people hear spiritual language and they're super confused. To me, it is the absence of clarity or light or wisdom, okay, or understanding. That's simply what it is. Bringing to light, you're facing your fears and understanding it. So everything, you guys, I must say this, is ruled because we're in this human experience, which is all about the identifying body, right? There's something I refer to as where are we? I versus I, and it's like my true form and divinity. I'm an eternal being of light. I seek nothing. I need no validation. I don't even understand what it is to for any label. I'm just beautiful frequency and vibration, consciousness, love. And then there's my human experience, born into the upside down, guys, wherever. And my kinesthetics are off today.
I know, we're doing light language here.
I'm not used to. And this is beautiful because I'm glad you just did that. You reminded me of the portal of neutrality. And the portal of neutrality is a place of just simply becoming an observer and realizing that there's only lessons to be learned, guys. So our ego, it's the egoic mind that rules this earth plane and human experience. And yes, people talk and recover, I got to smash my ego. No, we want balance.
Yes.
Because smashing doing the shadow work to me is about the negative aspect of the ego. Okay, first and foremost. So and I want to say this. When I talk about being born into the upside down, I love this, I don't know, parable or whatever I'm going to say. So when we look up Webster's dictionary of color and what it means in painting, what the color of black is versus white, this is a great example. So when we talk about being connected to source and spirit and having faith in the cosmos and the universe, the color white is the absence of all color, yet the presence of all light. Guys, light is spirit, okay? It is not the star that creates the light. It is the light that creates the star. Know this. It is energy. And so the color black in painting is the presence of all color and all that we see in all of our experience, yet the absence of light, spiritualism. So
I love that I'm wearing black and you're wearing white.
Yeah, duality, right. So when we talk about that is no coincidence, right?
No.
Where are we? High five.
Yin and yang. We always talk. Oh,
I know it's all. So
I'm dyslexic. You can't do that to me.
I know everything's backwards. We're born into the upside down, guys. Is what I'm saying. So shadow work is a matter of dealing with the negative aspect of our ego. Now, this takes me to another jumping off point where we can talk about something, and then there's so much we could talk about.
I know, you and me together.
And so let's just look at the shadow work. Shadow is dealing with the negative aspects, the bullshit lies you told yourself that because of the trauma or because I was sexually abused that I would always be damaged goods or whatever or anything or the stuff that I've done to other people, whatever, keep me from living a life of joy and abundance. Trauma, victim. So shadow work is about getting out of victim mentality, which takes me to Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. So if we look at that and we look at the tier, the triangle of Maslow, his hierarchy of needs, is the bottom line psychological needs, and then safety needs, basic needs. In recovery, all right, I got to stop using, let the fog clear, and then I need to be in a safe environment, boundaries, right? Okay. Then we move up the ladder, social needs and self-esteem. These are psychological needs. How the hell can I live without the use of drugs or alcohol? How am I going to live? Well, that's a social need. And self-esteem is also speaking about now empowering the ego. Now see, as in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we're moving up the ladder. Now we're bringing balance into the ego. And this is super beautiful. Our shirts, right? And so a balanced ego, egoic mind, is a mind that can literally simply realize, I'm going to say one more thing, and then we end up then self-actualization, seeing the forest for the trees, realizing that none of this shit really matters, that I am significant, therefore no matter where I go, it becomes significant. Okay. Being just a free spirit, not held down by the worry or this human time. I have to need and want 4-letter words, guys. Come on. So I always say, be grateful for what you have. The universe will bring you all you need. Truth. Amen to that.
Amen.
So anybody can do this, you guys. And it starts with flipping Maslow's hierarchy pyramid upside down and starting with self-actualization. That to me speaks of one thing: intention, right? You are redirecting your energy body at this point to heal. And all you have to do is be grateful for what you have. The universe will bring you all you need. Trust you in divine timing. Yes. So it starts with actually self-actualization and then leads to all these other things. It is the intention. The top, the end. It's like sacred real energy, guys. It is that we began at the top. Even though we look at the pyramid, we want to say we end up self-actualization. No, you're already starting that journey in self-actualization by wanting to realize that that you're not living a super comfortable life, and kind of like it's pretty unmanageable, or suffering, a great deal of suffering, and you're sick of it. And so you want to get better. So it all starts from the top. You work through it, and it comes in divine timing. Now I want to say this. When we talk about energetically being able to be ready to hold a new frequency or vibration, or being prepared, this is where it comes down to spirit knows all free will, all the options of all free will at all time, is constantly redirecting every bird, every tree. Everything is in your life for one reason, for possibility, optimal. And people are channels, so are animals, so are elements. So everything is working on spirit's behalf in order to help all souls ascend. And it's all messaging. Okay, so when we think about it, I want this, I want that, I want a relationship. Well, you want a relationship. Maybe you're codependent. Maybe you're not ready for no damn relationship. Or you're going to get in another relationship and it's going to end just as horribly as the last one, because you are not literally qualified to be in a relationship yet, because you're still seeking. So we talk about, what is the power source? The power source, again, let's go back to the light. The white is the absence of all color and the presence of all light. There's only one power source I know that is eternal and it's free. And that's source and spirit. That when I can tap into that and be grateful for all I have, knowing the universe will all be, and I say, Jeremy, I'm your own best friend, your own best lover, I got you. To want nothing, to seek nothing. That alignment, that which is truly meant to be in alignment with me. Look, if I go self-seeking equals suffering, shamanic practice, I'm going to pass it here because I can talk. Self-seeking, we have 3 ways to live our lives, guys. Self-seeking, which is always equals suffering. A life of service, which service work can get you killed. So we need to have boundaries. We need to know when, right? And then there's a life of being. We're called eternal beings of light. Again, I versus I, needing nothing, not having to help or fix anything, help anyone. Okay, so there are times where stillness is the action. There are times where self-reflection is it. It is everything in your life. When dealing with shadow work, is always inside. There will come a day where you will never need a book or seek a YouTube video or anything for any knowledge, because you are part sovereign soul, collective consciousness. And you can tap into Einstein, Jesus, anything. And so we have to realize that energetically we are being prepared, and the universe is going to teach us the hard way or the easy way. So I say I want to come into a divine alignment with my sacred partner on this soul's journey, like somebody that can really be one and done. Well, if I keep continuing to self-seek, right, I'm going to suffer. The sacred union, talk about sexual energy exchange and lowering your vibration, making, and worse, could make me go back out in addiction. Like there's so much to it. Like, so I'm just super grateful to be living with my parents right now, helping my dad, making amends to him for all the drug addiction. I'm so grateful to be sober and being of service to him. I'm not worried about my partner who was met the universe will bring me. Again, realize this. I had an aunt tell me a long time ago. She goes, Jeremy, maybe God is working on you and her. And when he's done, then they'll bring you in alignment. That's also possible.
Divine union.
I'll pass.
So much to say. We reversing and rewinding back to that balance, as Jeremy talked about. It is not about it. I always say slay the ego, but I don't literally mean that in a way where I'm not acknowledging it, because angelic love and light and everything that I am made up of is surrounded about creating the balance, individualized balance, what's best for you and your body, mind, and spirit balance. I want to also touch on the fact that we've got to embrace the ego, and we've got to get to know our demons. We've got to know our dark side. Freaking befriend it, okay? It's a part of us. Our soul does not judge us. Amen to that, all right? And we do not care what anyone else thinks. And when you can turn your pain into power and fuel that and help yourself and possibly give back to others, that is a beautiful thing. So embrace the ego, embrace what there is to learn there. I also do want to touch on, as the energy queen of duality, the dark and endings are not always a bad thing. It is a part of life. Let's think about when we are in the womb for 9 months. It's dark as fuck. We're not scared. We're not worried. We're chilling there, taking in the nutrients and the oxygen that we need, and we're developing, and we trust in that womb for 9 months until we enter out of the birth canal, which, can you imagine how challenging and tormenting that is? If we recalled that, we would probably say we can get through anything, okay? So the dark is not all bad. The dark is beautiful. Jer, what do you want to touch it on?
I just want to say about being birthed. There's a reason we don't remember that specific moment, because there's no lesson there, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Like, truly.
And I like to use that model as like an example, because I don't think many people stop to think about that. Like, I never thought of it like that. And when I use that example, many of my one-on-one clients always have this like light bulb moment, and they're like, that's kind of true.
That's not to say that somebody cannot remember that, like somebody, brother or sister may, but that would be a lesson for them. Most of us don't, because there's really no lesson. When you spoke about, really quick, I just wanted to comment on, when you spoke about like embracing the ego, that's so beautiful. So like, I want to get away from all addicts, everything else, right? And addiction. Like, I got to be away from it all. Look, I that's part of me. It's there for a purpose. It can benefit others now that I can see the forest for the trees and I've recovered. So it's like when you try to run away and escape your trauma by ignoring it, not facing it, not embracing it for the lesson it's teaching you, and take back the power. It's like trying to cut. It's like wanting to cut your damn arm off because you don't like the color of your nail polish. Ridiculousness. It will always be with you. So you must face it and embrace it and love it and see it and take back the power from it. And that's what you do. And then you balance that. So the polarity, I think it's important that we talk about the universe and polarity. Yeah. What we think, what we speak, right? So if I say I'm self-loathing right now, what's the medicine? It's always the opposite, right? Okay. And the opposite of that is, hell no, bullshit. I'm a survivor. I've gotten this far. I'm still drawing breath. I should have died with a needle in my arm 1,000 times. And I'm beautiful. And in my today right now, it's not who I was. It's who I am right now. And I seek to be healthy. So your best days are not ahead of you guys. They are right now. Let me give you one more example about divine timing. When we talk about a baby being born, whoa, that's a separate incident. No, then there's a sacred union. They had this sexual encounter, and then, no, and then they met. No, it's all one freaking energy. I want to say this. I learned this the other day. This is beautiful, and then I'll turn it back over to you. And what I didn't mention too was a beautiful brother. His name's Moji, right? Okay, he's a beautiful mystic and yogi kind of dude. And he talks about the mind. He talks about the seer a lot in his guidance when he offers guidance. So when I referred to the portal of neutrality, guys, and simply being the observer, Moji talks about when the mind sees, because you're not your body or your mind. Remember, I versus I, right? Right. So, and that goes along with ideology and all the other shit that you think that's been programmed and that you've learned to fear and all this, right? Right. Heaven, hell, all that shit, bullshit. All that's of the mind. It's made up. And that may bother you. And if you're being offended and you're getting sweaty in the back right now, that is truly your higher self saying that I am right. So, I mean, whether or not you accept it or not, the truth never changes. So, so here's the thing. So Moji speaks about the mind seeing the higher self. So like in those moments, we're getting glimpses again of white paint, right? Absence of all the identity. And when we're connecting with source and spirit, we're totally free, blissed out. We feel totally safe. Okay. There is like no safety. I wrote the other day, I said, there's no true safety in the harmer. True safety is not clinging to life. Okay. So Moji says, when my mind sees my higher self, I get glimpses of divinity. However, when you get there and you see in the higher self or your true form sees the mind, you realize that duality is a freaking choice. And you don't have to get pissed or shitty about anything. And just accept it for being something beautiful, guys. Divine timing. Powerful shit. So I heard this, and I'm going to pass it back. I read this the other day, and I wrote down, it's very beautiful. All things, and this talks about being a master manifester, guys. You guys are all that. Do not doubt yourself. No one's better than you or less than you. We all come from the same source. And if you keep thinking you're not this psychically or intuitively blessed, if you think that, you're blocking yourself, then you will never come, because you're telling again the universe that's not what
don't believe.
Yep. So all things already exist, and thus creation is already finished. Ooh, I love that. Let's say that one more time.
Ooh, say it again.
All things already exist, and thus creation is already finished. Guys, you have your dream job, everything you could ever aspire to, and it might not be it there in the end. It might be so much more beautiful than you could ever imagine, which would think, what the hell was I even thinking I ever wanted that? Your life of joy and abundance, the really awesome fat cat shit that you want is already happened. It's the baby and the sacred union and the meeting. It's one energy, and you're setting your intention right now. And spirit was going to set you up energetically to prepare you for this, right? You won't be codependent. If you want to be codependent, it might be a long damn time until you do that shadow work before you love yourself, before you get that dream, beautiful relationship in your life. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to
go back to the hierarchy. I want to touch on it, and I found something as you said it, and you were explaining the hierarchy. Yeah. Do you notice how society, typical life, will give you that self comes last, when really, truly, how we're born upside down. Remember, Jer, when I told you I never flipped the right way, I stayed backwards?
Yeah.
Self comes first, and when you dive into self and heal the self and do the shadow work and create your divine timing, you are not only healing yourself, you are healing the collective and adding to those frequencies and energies. So to me, the hierarchy needs to be flipped upside down and self, and that is something society will have you subconsciously programmed to thinking the other way, so that it prevents you from listening to authentic self, Christ-like consciousness, and following the natural intuition of self. I also wanted to touch on The more we get to know dark side, ego side of duality within us, we end up learning and coming from a place of observation. And when you can fully observe yourself for all your challenges and lessons and beings, you are able to observe everyone else as yourself and love, as we are all one and equal.
Okay, so I'm so glad you didn't stop and you kept talking, because I was paying attention to what time on the slide feed we were at. And at 5:05, you said learning. And at 55 minutes and 5 seconds, you said self. Learning self. Boom goes the dynamite. You see that? Isn't that awesome? That's like goosebumpy shit.
Fireworks.
Self, which was exactly what you were just talking about, which was what you're talking about, Maslow's hierarchy. And it starts in self-actualization. Yes, you guys are all empathic healers. Believe it, because we all get goosebumps. We're all empaths.
Yes.
It's a matter of self-actualization, and it starts with your intention, brothers and sisters. And everything you could possibly imagine, your beautiful life of joy and abundance is not tomorrow. It is now when you choose that. Boom.
The time is now. One last thing before we head in and wrap up and finalize it with the 555 energy. You had mentioned that, for example, if you stay in self-seeking mode and without doing the work, that you can be handed repeated cycles until the lesson is learned. It will come in different shapes of different people. Same lesson, you haven't learned it. Universe is going to present you with another scenario and maybe a different person. But until that soul lesson is learned, and you have a choice, free will of choice, to not learn the lesson, but then know that your blessings are being blocked because you are not choosing or actively seeing and knowing that there is lesson and growth there for you to learn. So it is so important to really work on self and clear up a lot of those blocks. I want to move into the 555 energy and how this interconnects. Yeah.
I just really quickly, I want to say what you just said was so beautiful. But here's the thing. Most people have such fear of letting go of the control and what's already worked for them. And you guys really, I will get super close to the camera right now so you look at me and I can do my shamanic trance phase on you right now. You guys cannot possibly imagine the beautiful energy you will feel when you surrender and learn your soul lessons and do your shadow work. I'll say this and then I'll pass it over. Archangel Sandalphon, very wise archangel, one of only 2 archangels who have lived as humans, Metatron and Sandalphon. Yes. One day he said to me, he says, literally, he goes, the hardest thing about being human is letting go and being one. Yeah. Guys, to really feel the power of this new energy and the frequency where you're not held down in your free spirit, you have to surrender. You have to accept it. Divine timing, beautiful.
Yeah, 90% of people want to step past that fear and are afraid to step into the unknown where change takes place. But I swear to God, I literally wrote this in an email today. I said, the best part of my changing my journey was when I surrendered to trusting the journey and letting go of control. It changed my life in phenomenal ways. And I know that you agree, brother. 555. How does this all intertwine as everything is interconnected? So today, for those of you who don't know, is a huge power day, a numerology day. To briefly summarize, 555, so it's May 5th, add up 2021, that adds up to 5. We entered 2021 is a universal number 5 year. It is the year of a great awakening, the Aquarian year. It's the number 5, which stands for growth, transformation, abundance. It has to do with free will, free choice. It is catalyst energy. This happens every year. But specifically this year, since our last full moon in April in the sign of Scorpio, the Scorpios are known for They are ruled by the planet Pluto, which is death and rebirth. So there have been a lot of endings and tower moments in journey and leading up from the portal from the full moon until today. And today's energy is supporting that the ascended masters have our back, have our divine timing in their hands, and they want to bless us, but they need to make sure that our intentions and our actions are matching. And so also a lot of karmic endings for people really coming to endings of karmic past that they have, lessons to learn on. I know both of us are in very monumental points in our journeys, and the 555 energy is about using the energy today and using it as a catalyst, moving forward, building the momentum up until the new moon in the sign of Taurus on the 11th, creating new mindsets, new programming, new beliefs, new ways, and taking new fucking action to create the abundance, the growth that life has to offer each and every one of us. It is our soul birthright for prosperity, happiness, abundance, fulfillment, every single one of us, if we so choose to be doing the work. Jer, what do you have to say?
We could talk all night. 555 portal, May 5th through the 23rd. Gateway opens up to the higher frequencies, higher realms, guys, veils thin.
Yes.
A powerful new opportunities, like you said, increases manifestation speed. Yes. A need to surrender to divine will. Yes, you said it. Rapid spiritual growth and ascension. Yes. Awakening of dormant spiritual abilities. Yes. Easier to connect with the guides in the star family. Yes. All that. But here's the thing, guys. Free will cosmos. None of that is going to happen. Many brothers and sisters are not part of the ascension process because they're choosing not to. We have an old earth. Dolores Cannon spoke about this. She's a beautiful person.
Yes.
There's a whole
God rest your soul.
Yeah. Old earth, new earth, guys. It's like many people are going to be so spiritually disconnected. They're going to be in survival mode. Okay. They're going to be still caught up in greed and control, looking for validation, looking for all this shit, using anger as an energy source, resentments as an energy source. When there's one's energy source that you need, they'll never tap out on you, and that's source and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really ascension. So like my journey, you guys, I was putting needles in my arm a bit over 14 months ago, like dying on floors and shit like that. That's true. And I am like, I don't even know. I'm simply Jeremy today, but I've got a pretty damn good grip of the cosmos today, and sitting from a pretty beautiful point of enlightenment today. And it happened super fast, and it could happen for you super fast, but it has to come down to surrendering. Yes, we feel the heal. We go through really poopy poo-poo energy. Sometimes we get real uncomfortable. That's when you ground yourself. Ask for spiritual assistance. Come on, spirit, I'll be gentle with me. Connect with water spirit. Connect with a lot of shit. Guys, everything you need on your journey, seriously, will be brought to you. Just be grateful for what you have and ask these assistance from the higher realms.
Yes.
More than ever right now, like Ashlee was just saying. More than ever. This is like hybrid track shit. Because, you know, if you don't, which is your choice, you have an option. Mm-hmm. But for those that say bullshit, that'll never happen. You cannot understand the magic, true alchemy of how beautiful this is.
Yes.
How fast somebody can heal, like literally super freaking fast. Mm-hmm. And it's I can't say that it's uncomfortable, but it's a good hurt, as we say. I know I'm purging, and so just be gentle to your mind, body, and spirit during these transformations. Ask for it, because what's going to happen in the old earth, there's going to be many souls that are still looking to divide us, start fights, pick people apart, tell people how to live their life, all judgment, sickness. Those people are going to feel like I did in my addiction, very isolated, very disconnected. That's the truth. Those are your choices right now. You either start journey, or you will continue to suffer, and you may just be part of your life plan. But I have a feeling, if you're watching this, this is no coincidence, and you're beautiful, and I know that. So,
oh my God, what a beautiful conversation today! Certainly. What a beautiful, magical, positive conversation. I wanna end with an insightful fact and let you guys all know, grab yourself some obsidian for protection during this time. And I care, we both wear it on us daily. But that this crystal brings not only protection, but also luck to match this 555 energy. As Jeremy stated, the veil is very super thin, and manifesting is at an all-time high at multiple times during the year. But right now is one of those times, so be very mindful with your thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. Also, I mentioned earlier on another live that I did that this is probably the most powerful, potent, releasing energy that we had from this specific full moon leading up to this portal. And this portal is unlike any other 555 portal that we've had thus far. So this is the change maker, the way maker. Okay, this is, and the time is now. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. The time is now. It's now in divine timing. Brother, would you love to close us out? I started us.
I would so love to say a prayer for everybody right now.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. I seriously would love. What an honor and a privilege. Okay, so I'm going to work with 6 of the most beautiful angels, the angels of all 4 directions, and we're going to cover our horizontal and our vertical space at this point in time. So right now, humbly ask my spirit guides of love and light source to connect me with my higher self at this point and help ground me now as we open ourselves up to the cosmos and the higher realms. We say thank you, Spirit, for this beautiful alignment and connection at this point in time. You are so wonderful. We thank you for all the elementals, for transmuting. We thank you, Luna. We thank you, Mother Earth, the beautiful, loving, most powerful, beautiful, loving filter of the cosmos. We thank you, Sun. We thank you, Central Sun. We thank you to our ancestors, to all magical creatures, our ancestors of the light, passed on loved ones of the light, our beautiful magical creatures, multidimensional beings, the galactic families, all in alignment, all with the crystalline source and spirit, serving the higher power's greatest will for the greatest good of all souls. We thank you so much. We humbly ask you, we call on the archangels at this point as we go forth at this point, from this point on in journey, to protect us. We ask for your protection. We ask for you, Archangel Raphael, to hold space for us, to send light angels on your behalf, to hold space for each and every one choosing to open to receive this message right now. To the west, Archangel Raphael, we humbly ask this. And to our east, we humbly ask you, Archangel Gabriel, the beautiful messenger, to hold space for us. And to the south, Archangel Michael, beautiful, beautiful brother, we ask you to hold space from the south, energetic protection. And to the north, Archangel Uriel, we ask you to hold space for each and every one of us, to watch over us. And above, now that we have covered all of our horizontal energy lines and directions, we ask beautiful Archangel Metatron, so beautiful, to cover our vertical northern space. And to the south and below us, we ask for Archangel Sandalphon, 2 beautiful angels that understand the human experience, to hold the vertical space for us. We say thank you, archangels. We love you so much. We send blessings to you as well, and to all of our spirit guides and all spirit and all beautiful things from the crystalline Christ source energy, from you, great Father, Mother Universe. We say thank you for all you have given us, all you have shown us, and all you will continue to. We are so grateful. Amen. Blessed be, so more to be.
Amen. Oh, Brother Jeremy,
I know. It's so beautiful.
And that's release. I am so divinely grateful for you and our divine connection and our alignment and our timing. And may we continue to create our divine timing as we both ascend higher and higher into our authentic selves. Please check out my soul brother, Jeremy Doemel. He has so much to offer in this world. And if you resonate with either one of us, continue to follow us, reach out, and we would love any comments, questions, and we will try our best to get back in divine timing, as we always say.
We got it on the DTs. We don't have detoxes anymore, guys. We have divine timing.
Exactly. It's all about the DT.
All about the DTs. It's about flipping it. Flip it.
Flip it. Flip it and switch it.
Can you work it? I don't know how it goes.
Flip a thing down, flip it and reverse
There
it.
you
If you
go.
don't flip it, man, yet.
I don't know.
We're singers and dancers and so much more.
I am. You want to play some fucking punk rock?
We're gonna rock out.
But that's about where I'll leave it. I don't know. I love Missy Elliott. Is that Missy Elliott?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have to play a punk rock sesh to that. Jeremy is an amazing performer.
I don't even know what the fuck I would do. But let's just leave it there. Everybody pray for me.
We all need prayers. Let's pray for each other.
Yeah. Good shit, you guys. Good shit. Thank you,
Yes.
Ashlee, so much for having me come on this live feed. Stunning love and light to each and every one of you guys.
We'll see you on the flip side.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Lots of love and light.
Lots of love and light. Namaste.